Thank you to the UNLV Mariachis. And for those that don't know, today is UNLV Day at Clark County, so feel free if you're alumni to stand up and wave or do whatever you do. What do the Rebels do? And I know we have 2 on our commission, so that's pretty amazing. I have 4 on my staff. All right. Good morning, Mr. Schiller. This is the first period for public comment?
Invocation.
Invocation, sorry.
Good morning. If it's comfortable for you, please close or lower your eyes and just take a deep breath in. As we settle into this now moment, knowing that there's just one thing happening here. The divine, spirit, universal intelligence, infinite intelligence, spirit is right here, right now, in this very building and beyond. Each of us are one with that divine essence, that divine presence, that divine life. It is made up of peace and joy and abundance and prosperity and order. So what I know right here and right now is that this very meeting is blessed. That each and every person that is here for a reason, that they are on point, that all is heard that needs to be heard and listened to from a place, from a heart space, knowing that the best for this city, this county is happening right here and right now with this wonderful commission. So I'm just grateful for all that takes place and all that does not. I release this word to that universal law which only ever says, yes, it is done. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Reverend Hilton. All right, now time for first period for public comment.
No, we're under, sorry, Chair.
Sometime we're going to have public comment.
I didn't mean to start that way. Item 1 is to present a proclamation to the members of the Nevada Task Force 1 to recognize their recent deployment to Kerr County, Texas. Commissioner Naft.
Thank you, Manager Schiller. The Clark County Fire Department, as we all know, does an outstanding job in our community on a daily basis. What we may not all realize is that they are also the sponsoring agency for the Nevada Urban Search and Rescue Task Force 1. Nevada Task Force 1 is one of 28 teams funded and authorized by FEMA to respond to major catastrophic events in and around the United States. The team includes emergency responders from all local fire departments and many area agencies. The ranks include paramedics, structural engineers, logistics technicians, medical doctors, and mechanics. Last month, as you've seen, Nevada Task Force 1 was called upon to assist in Kerr County, Texas, following the devastating floods that occurred over the July 4th weekend. A team of 47 local responders who join us here, along with 4 canines, were deployed, along with thousands of tons of vehicles, equipment, and supplies. Their primary mission was to assist with search, recovery, and debris clearing operations along the Guadalupe River. After nearly 3 weeks deployed, the team returned to Nevada, and we are thrilled to get to celebrate and thank them for their tireless work over those 3 weeks in Texas. Will you join me in recognizing Nevada Task Force 1? And I'm gonna pass the microphone for a moment to Chief Matthew Gordon. Chief, there you are. And he's also joined, I want to shout out, where's Kenyon? Who's here, who runs the task force, also provided me with a tour of their training grounds not too long ago. Thank you for being here with us. Chief.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Thank you for the recognition. We just wanted to say it's our honor to serve the community here in Nevada and to represent our home agencies from all the different fire departments that we participate in, and also some of the civilian organizations that make up this team. And we're honored to go and be called upon to do this mission that we got to do in Texas and to try to bring some healing to the community there. It's a pleasure to work with these professionals from all the different organizations and the teams, and it's the people and the caring and the hard work that come together from this group that allow us to be successful. So just want to say thank you for your support, thank you for allowing us to go out to do the work that we believe so strongly in, and thank you for the recognition today.
I'd just like to say that these gentlemen up here right now went out and represented Clark County, represented the city of Las Vegas, city of North Las Vegas, city of Henderson, city of Boulder City, the test site, and the state of Nevada. When we left with a good impression on the people of Texas. It doesn't always happen when, sometimes when the federal government shows up, but they left with a pat on the back from the people that were there. Sometimes we get there and we think that we're the ones that are supposed to be taking care of the people, and the people take care of us a lot with food and with a lot of stuff. But these individuals went out and represented, and you all can be proud of that, because when the people of Texas look at Nevada, they look at these guys and then they think of you as well. So thanks for the opportunity of being here, and thanks for the recognition.
It's not nearly enough, but on behalf of this Board of County Commissioners, we thank you. We're so proud of each of you for serving our country in the way you have, and we get to proclaim today Nevada Task Force One Day in Clark County. Thank you so much.
Okay, if we're going to do a group photo, Caitlin, I'm going to have Chief O'Neill, all the way down to Commissioner Becker. We're going to have you guys come down to the front, in front of the dais here. Thanks, Kevin. Hello, everybody. Let's bring the puppy dog up front, too. Who's been? There we go. Let's center up in front of Chief Samuels. Let's have everybody center up in front of the sign, so have a couple of people move over this way. Keep going. A couple of you. There we go. We want. Okay. Let's have you guys move to the other side. Yeah, just down a little bit further. Perfect. And Commissioner Kirkpatrick, if we could have a few of you step to the right. Yeah, there we go. All right. Okay, squeeze in just a little. Need you guys to just move down a little bit for me. Keep moving, keep going, because I need you guys to move down a little bit further for me. I'm almost there. Keep coming. About 3 more people. Yeah, okay. Now I think I got everybody. If Commissioner Jones, you squeeze in just a little. All right, thanks everybody. Here we go. Count of 3 in 1, 2, 3. No, everybody. We're good.
Commissioners, your next item is to present a proclamation to recognize Overdose Awareness Day in Clark County. Commissioner Naft and Commissioner Kirkpatrick.
Thank you, Manager Schiller. I'm going to ask Mrs. Nadler to come join us up here. Commissioner Kirkpatrick is the true leader when it comes to combating opioids in Clark County. But we're delighted to be joined today to recognize Mrs. Debbie Nadler and the founder of Moms Against Drugs. Approximately 48 million Americans aged 12 or older experienced substance use disorder in the United States last year alone. While we know that there are some really positive numbers that are coming out, a reduction of nearly 30% since 2019 of overdoses, there is still so much work to do. And we're so glad to recognize you, Mrs. Nadler. I'll let you speak a little bit about why you're so invested in this mission. But first, I'll pass it over to Commissioner Kirkpatrick.
Thank you, Commissioner Naft, and thank you, Ms. Nadler. We go back a little ways. This really is an important issue in our community, and it is one that does not discriminate against anyone. So what I would tell you, everybody should be alert. Everybody should be paying attention, because nobody wants to be in that situation where it's their family member or their loved one. For me, it's personal. Been down this road with my daughter. She is almost 2 years clean, so that's great. But at the same time, it's an issue that plagues us every single day. So it doesn't matter who you are, what your social economic is. And I thank Ms. Nadler for really stepping up and doing what so many of us can't do, because we're just trying to make things right at home. The Southern Nevada Health District has a hotline that you can call so that you can get those fentanyl strips, so that you can get them. We are doing amazing things in the county, testing the water level so we can get a handle on where it is. We work with our partners across the valley. But really, this is a day that I ask each and every one of you on August 31st, please wear purple or silver, because somebody that you know, somebody that is close to you has been impacted by this. And until we as a community are not afraid to stand up and talk about it, we won't fix the issue. So, Ms. Nadler, thank you so much for what you do. And it is, thank you, Commissioner Naft, for including me, because it is a journey that we've all been on. So thank you very much for what you do.
I apologize for reading from my iPhone, but if I talked from my heart, we'd be here all day. August 31st is International Overdose Awareness Day, and the color purple represents lives lost to overdose. Every year, we light the Welcome to Las Vegas sign purple in remembrance. We weren't able to do that this year. Commissioner Naft has been kind enough to present the proclamation here and carry on that tradition. He's been presenting it to us every year. Excuse me. Across the country, overdose deaths have gone down, but here in Nevada, they've gone up. According to the provisional CDC data, in 2023, we lost 1,520 people to overdose. And in 2024, that number rose to 1,528. That equals 4 Nevadans a day. The banner that you see over there, okay. The banner that he was holding up, which my son is a part of, unfortunately, there's about 64 kids on there, and that's not what we've lost. That's just a small representative of the number. It equals to, that banner is 11 days of loss in our state. And when you look at the full year, 1,528 lives is the equivalent of filling 20 school buses, if you can imagine that. So what can we do? We can start with our children. Primary prevention in every school, consistent age-appropriate education and awareness, mandated mental health counselors in all our schools are greatly needed, so students and families know where to turn before a crisis. And very important, if we could have a state-funded remembrance and loved ones, August 31st, by lighting the Vegas sign purple every year. And let's expand the impact. Let's establish perhaps an addiction prevention month every August, beginning with prevention and education and ending on the 31st with remembrance. Before I close, I really need to thank my husband. He's Brett's stepfather. He helped me raise my son, and he has been with me every step of the way, and it's been treacherous, I can assure you. And he has built every banner stand, been to every event, and done so tirelessly and effortlessly. Thank you, Jim, for everything. My son Brett always said, find your purpose. When he was in recovery, the years in between, he would help and counsel others. And he always told them, if you find your purpose, you'll succeed. Find your purpose. I had to take on my son's purpose and try to help as many people as I can. And I thank y'all so very much for remembering all our children, for remembering the day, and thank you again.
Debbie, I know everybody here is inspired by the courage that you've taken such tragedy and turned it into an opportunity to educate, inform, and make the world a better place for those of us in Brent's memory. Thank you for that. And we are presenting this to you, but on behalf of everybody in our community, we unfortunately have to declare today International Overdose Awareness Day in Clark County. Thank you. Would you join me in recognizing Mrs. Debbie Nadler?
All right. With that, now we'd like to honor Lieutenant David Pollux, Code Enforcement Supervisor, who's retiring after 32 years. Obviously, in those 32 years, he's done a lot for the county, but I will say that specifically for my district and probably for Commissioner Gibson's district, creating the CMAT, which is the most important thing we have to do with, is really phenomenal. So I can't thank you enough for doing that. Can't thank you enough for all your service, and we're really sorry to see you leave. You're one of the few people that are changing our lives in our districts every day. Thank you so much. And Commissioner Becker has a proclamation. But for somebody, okay. All right, afterwards. Anyway, if you, I don't see do I have a proclamation? No. I don't think that's, yeah. All right, well, you don't get a proclamation, sorry. Sorry about that, but anyway, have you say a few words.
I just want to say it's been an honor and privilege to represent our office over the past 32 years and work for the county and the citizens of Clark County and all the service we provide. Over that time, I've had great opportunities to work with some outstanding people from a lot of different agencies, and the support of all my coworkers. I really appreciate support of the board over these years, supporting the mission of our office to make our neighborhood safer in Clark County. I really appreciate this honor. Thank you so much.
I think that they just didn't want to see you go. So, thank you.
Commissioners, your next item is to present a proclamation to the members of Tough Enough to recognize their valuable contributions to Clark County's community. Commissioner Becker.
I just want to let everyone know how excited we are to have Tough Enough here today. It's the second largest MMA group was started here in Las Vegas. It was for the non-professional amateur group. I need my glasses. So we want to recognize Tough Enough as a visionary and long-standing MMA promotion in Nevada. We're going to highlight Barry Meyer's dream and sacrifice to bring MMA to Las Vegas alongside his brother Jeff. Tough Enough's role in getting amateur MMA approved in Nevada and hosting the first all-amateur event in 2008. I want everyone to know that they have a huge event this Saturday at the Suncoast. If you want to go participate, it's amazing. And I just want to thank all of you for everything that you've done. We're going to celebrate the success of over 3,000 athletes, including UFC stars like Ronda Rousey, someone I really like, and Aspen Ladd. So thank you for everything you've done. I just want, please go out and see the Suncoast Rampart. And then go to the Suncoast. They have great restaurants. Go to the Rampart. It's this Saturday, the 23rd. I expect to see all of you out there. So thank you.
Commissioners, our next item is to recognize Clark County employees who have been selected as Clark County Value Champions.
My name is Robert Swarovski. I work in the clerk's department, and I am nominating Marie Ritchie for Value Champion. Marie has worked in the clerk's department for 19 years, her entire county career. And Marie has worked her way up from the Marriage License Bureau all the way up to the admin offices on the 5th floor. She definitely embodies excellence. She is always looking into our different procedures, and she's a knowledge base that if you have any sort of questions, you can go to Marie. Marie also builds all of the procedures that the clerk's office builds. So if we have a lot of different documents that at any point you have a question about your job, you can reference these documents. They all originate with Marie. She creates all those documents. She updates those documents as new laws pass, as new procedures get introduced in the department. So she has an in-depth knowledge of everything that the clerk does. She comes to work every single day with a smile on her face, willing to help out whoever needs help. Congratulations, Marie. You provide value to the clerk's department every single day. Keep up the hard work. Thank you.
My name is Jeremy Lovell. I'm a senior special agent with Clark County Business License, and I'd like to nominate James Alcantara for a Value Champion. Last year we were at a restaurant while we were eating lunch, a patron of the restaurant passed out, and James immediately stood up and went to his aid and was able to help him as he became conscious. He checked on him, made sure that he was okay, and he also made sure that he had a ride home and everything so that he was safe. And he all did this without the county logos or anything. It was just because James was a good guy. And also this year I had to change the schedule. Normally the senior agents train, but James decided to step up even though it wasn't his job, and he also continued to train the new agents so that they can be successful. And that's why I want to nominate James, and congratulations, James Alcantara.
Hi, I'm Negar Masumi, Assistant Planning Manager with Comprehensive Planning, and I'm excited to recognize Chandra as one of our value champions. Chandra works on the zoning review side of business license requests. She reviews every single request to ensure business activities comply with the zoning regulations. Her knowledge and thorough research also support our other planners who often rely on her expertise when reviewing land use application or responding to related questions. Chandra is someone I trust completely to represent our department in the best possible way, whether she's helping a customer, supporting a teammate, or assisting other departments. She's approachable, calm, and always ready to help, whether it's answering questions, clarifying process, or just being a reliable resource. That kind of reliability makes a difference to the team and to the people who we work with. When anyone in our department has a question about licensing, Chandra is typically the first person they go to, because she not only knows the process inside and out, but she conveys it with clarity and patience. Chandra may work behind the scene, but her impact is felt every day. She truly reflects the values we care about: public service, respect, accountability, and excellence, and brings those values into everything she does. Chandra, thank you for all that you do. We're so lucky to have you, and I'm so proud to see you recognized as a value champion. You truly deserve it.
Wow, what a turnout today. This is perfect. Want to recognize all their departments. Number one, comp planning, clerk's office, and business license. These are just 3 of our great 38 departments. What a good day to have this. We saw Task Force 1 up here. We had Opioid Awareness Day. I want to make sure I recognize that. These are all things that up almost 10,000 employees work on every day, which is so important and really exemplifies public service. So I really want to just appreciate you 3 for all you do every day, but I also want to make sure I do a shout out to the entire county for all we do every day, and so glad you guys are here. And now, Commissioner Becker.
As someone that's new to the county team, I just want to thank you for everything you do. The people that work here are amazing. They're our neighbors. They care so much about this community, and this is the best of the best. So we are very excited. I'm thankful to be here and thankful to be a part of your team.
All right, now public comment. All right, this is the first period for public comment. Anyone wishing to speak on an item on the agenda, come forward now and speak. Please identify the item and then also state your last name and spell it. And I know how to spell Ayala.
Good morning, Commissioners. Brian Ayala, AYALA, 4149 Wagon Trail Ave, 89118. I'm speaking on items 44 and by extension 45. I wanted to make sure and express my full support for Jim Chrisley as our next Director of Aviation. He has a wealth of experience with over 21 years of leadership in the Air Force, with stints as commander at Creech Air Force Base and deputy commander at Nellis Air Force Base. He's came to the Harry Reid Airport and operated with us since 2015 as a senior director with over important functions such as airside operations, facilities, and construction and engineering. He's a civil engineer by training. These are critical functions as we move forward with the modernization project with T1 and the development of the Southern Nevada Supplemental Airport. Personally, I'm convinced that it's important for this position to have somebody that is very familiar with the jurisdiction, very familiar with and has relationships with all the key stakeholders, is able to cohesively execute with these people through approaching things as a collaborative effort. That's what you have in Jim. He's a proven entity. He's got his finger on the pulse, and he'll be able to hit the ground running. He's got a great team that'll be able to hit the ground running as well. And if we can figure out how to keep Scott Kickline, that would even be better. Thanks.
Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. For the record, Tom Morley. I represent Teamsters Local 631, Laborers Local 872, and the Communication Workers of America. We've had the pleasure of working with Mr. Chrisley for many years now. He's familiar with the project labor agreement. He is labor friendly, he employs locally, and we need to keep him. And I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Anyone else wishing to speak? Seeing no one, we'll close the public hearing. Whoops, we have somebody.
I wasn't sure if this was an agenda item, so no. Okay. Christina Demopoulos from basically offering a testimony on behalf of UNLV Day. So I am a professor at the UNLV School of Dental Medicine. I wanted to offer some feedback on the community outreach and engagement with our community partners to our fellow commissioners here. As I mentioned, I am at the UNLV School of Dental Medicine, 3-time alumni to UNLV. So I've traveled the entire state with our dental students and our residents. We've had a wealth of collaborative partnerships with the Clark County School District, with Acevedo Clark County Learning, as well as with a lot of other individuals. We've done some of Commissioner Knaff's events, and I think Commissioner McCurdy. So our students are always in the community. So if you have time today, come over to the Pueblo Room where it is UNLV Day, and we have a list of all the different districts, what services we're offering in those districts, as well as maps of our different programs for our younger kids and for adults. So I just wanted to offer some public comment on the wonderful work that UNLV is doing in the community with our wonderful community partners. So thank you.
Thank you.
And my name, did you need me to spell it?
Please.
Yeah, so last name is Demopoulos, D as in David, E, M as in Mary, O, P as in Paul, O-U-L-O-S, and Christina, traditionally C-H-R-I-S-T-I-N-A. Thank you.
You passed the test. Thank you so much.
I did. Was that a test? Thank you.
All right. One more. No. Yes, please.
I'm sorry, I lost half of the audience, but good morning, everybody. Thank you for allowing me to speak. My name is Marco Montenegro. I'm with the Carey Law Firm. We specialize in personal injuries. I'm here to speak on behalf of Uber and Lyft drivers. I don't know if you guys do know, but Uber and
I'm
Lyft.
sorry, is there an item on the agenda for this?
Oh, my apology, Chairman. No,
Yeah.
I thought it was a
Yeah.
public.
No, the first public comment is just for the items on the agenda. If you want to stick around
My
at the very
apologies. I'm so sorry. No, I don't have anything of that. Can I come back there?
Yes. At
Okay.
the end of the meeting, there'll be time for you to speak about it.
Okay, thank you. And I have 3 minutes or 1 minute?
3 minutes at the end, but you already used one, so. All right, anyone else wishing to speak? Seeing no one, we'll close the public hearing. Whoops.
I'm probably way out of order, but I want to make sure I understand you. If it's an agenda item, we wait and speak during it, or would this preclude our ability?
No,
to
you can
speak?
speak it now or when the agenda item comes up.
I'll wait happily for the time. I just
If
want to
it's
make
a
sure
public, do you know which number it is?
47. I just want to make sure I don't give up my right to speak if I don't speak right now.
Just 1 second, we'll make sure you're okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a public thing. So when we call 47, you can speak.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, once, twice. All right, I think we're close public hearing and turn over to County Manager Schiller.
Commissioners, your next item is to approval of the minutes of the regular meeting on July 15th, 2025.
Mr. Chair, I move approval of the minutes.
There's a motion to approve the minutes. Cast your vote. That motion passes.
Commissioners, your next item is approval of the agenda with the inclusion of any emergency items and deletion of any items. Staff is requesting that items 14, 15, and 16 under your consent agenda be deleted. For the record, the District Attorney's Office would like to read a correction on item number 33 under your consent agenda, and staff is requesting that item number 57 under the business section be deleted from your agenda.
The parties request that the following changes to subsection A of section 1 of the amendment as your backup of item 33. The fourth sentence beginning with UNLV SMON will indemnify and hold harmless, we shall delete past or future from the amendment, and at the end of that sentence add for the applicable statute of limitations. And also at the end of section 1 add the following language. In the event that UMC believes that it may have an obligation to CMS that could trigger UNLV's obligations under this section, and or in the event that UMC receives any information that puts it on notice of a potential claim, penalty, or fine that could trigger UNLV's obligations under this section, UMC will provide prompt written notice to UNLV. UMC will provide full information and documents to UNLV SOM and its legal representatives with respect to any potential obligation of UNLV under this section. UMC and UNLV agree to work together to assess, quantify, and determine to the extent of any obligation and to cooperate in good faith towards a resolution if any such obligation arises. With those changes, item 33 would be ready for approval under your consent agenda.
Mr. Chair, I move approval of the consent agenda with the recommended changes read into the record.
Sorry, we're not quite there to that section. So you're going to approve the agenda, and then when it gets to your consent agenda thing.
We'll approve the agenda with recommended changes read into the record.
There's a motion. Cast your vote. That motion passes.
Commissioners, we can now move to the approval of the consent agenda items. Items number 7 through 45. Items 14, 15, and 16 have been deleted.
Move approval.
There's a motion to approve. Cast your vote. That motion passes.
Commissioners, it's not yet 10 a.m., so we'll now move to the business section of your agenda. Item 50 is identify emerging issues to be addressed by staff or by the board at future meetings, receive updates on the activities of various regional boards and commissions, and direct staff accordingly.
Anyone have a? Commissioner Kirkpatrick.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I do have two. So one, I just want to remind everybody that it's our turn to host Nevada NACO. So they'll be here September 23rd through 25th. We have all 17 counties that are participating. So be hosting it at the South Point this year. Commissioner Gibson and I are going to be there, but there's a lot of good informative stuff. You know, one of the speakers, we hope to have someone from the BLM to talk about Nevada as a whole. What does that look like? We also have someone that's going to come and talk about the opiate treatment settlement dollars. So we hope that there'll be informational stuff for everybody. So I just wanted to put that on your radar. Secondly, you know, this board took some of our dollars from ARPA and invested into the EMT program. There was a lot of questions when we first did the EMT program about who was doing it. So I'm happy to say that our second cohort has completed. And this is an idea of the diversity that we have across the board, men, women, young, older. So everybody's been there. It's been a really great class. I've been trying to stop by because they're housed in North Las Vegas. During one of their meetings, and they say it's hard. We had a valedictorian this time. In the first cohort, we've already had people that have passed the state test on the first try, which is a huge thing. So, but this board should be proud of the work that the Board of the Economic Development and Chief Travis are doing to get us plenty of EMT ready folks within our community. So many of them are already signing up for EMT too, but you know, we don't always get to see the fruits of our labor, and this was a program that is doing well. So and if people want more information, they can reach out to Clark County Economic Development to talk about when the next signups are. I think we have 1 or 2 more cohorts, but we've been managing to 25 start, 25 finish, and that's a big win. So thank you.
Don't see anyone else have public comment. Now, with your permission, I'd like to pull up item 56 with UNLV have their presentation now.
Commissioners, item 56 is to receive a presentation from the University of Nevada, Las Vegas and provide updates on various programs and recent activities.
And I recognize a former commissioner.
Thank you. Delighted to be here with you today to talk briefly about UNLV with 2 of my bosses and servants well known to this community, Regent Stephanie Goodman and Regent Susan Brager, who has served on all the essential boards of Southern Nevada, who'd like to make a few comments to start off.
Thank you so much. It's really nice to be here today on the opposite side of the podium. Nice to see you. I just want to say that we really appreciate the opportunity not only to be here today, but know that UNLV has had some amazing changes. And what we want from this day forward to know that we can have a great relationship and work with each and every one of you. We are the university down here that cares and wants to see more students not only attend that university, but throughout our state to know that we are viable and ready to continue staying at work. Our interim president, Hevy, is feet on the ground. I mean, he is really making great strides and great differences. So we look forward to that relationship continuing. Thank you.
Thank you, President Hevy. We're happy to be here, and I just simply wanted to say I'm the chair of the Health Sciences Committee, and the work that's been done here is vital. UMC and UNLV is a vital partnership, and there's been a lot of work that's been done here, and the Board of Regents is committed to making sure that this is a relationship that thrives. And moving forward, we'll be continuing to work closely with UMC, and just wanted to let you know you have our commitment to that relationship.
That was Stephanie Goodman for the record. Thank you.
Thank you both to our regents. We appreciate their support in trying to serve this community. I have a few slides that I'll run through just very quickly, and then happy to answer any questions you may have. Delighted to be serving the institution where I've been on my whole career. I've been at UNLV for 33 years, and so now have the opportunity to lead this incredible institution. And I think you all know that UNLV is the comprehensive research university of Southern Nevada, and it's a major research university in every way. We're now both classified as R1 and a community engaged university, over 150,000 alumni, and really proud of our vision, transforming our communities through education and engagement. And that's my commitment to you, is that every day we will work to make this community a better place through our service. I think we all know this story, but it's one I think we have to remind ourselves of, the incredible growth of Clark County, this dynamic city that we're a part of. And this is a slide that represents the 17 counties in Nevada, population from 1890 to today. And it's easy to identify basically two lines on this: Washoe County, which has grown well, and Clark County, which has been a rocket ship since about 1950, when UNLV was founded in 1957. And so you're familiar with these numbers, and trying to catch up to serve the incredible growth in this community is our shared task. And we know that with that growth, we've often struggled to have enough professionals and college-educated individuals to deliver the full range of services that are needed by our residents. And these are just some of the figures that I think you're very familiar with. We can also, I think everyone's aware that Clark County doesn't have as many college-educated residents as many comparable counties. So, for example, 25% of the people in Clark County have a bachelor's degree. In the Phoenix metropolitan area, that number is 37%. In the Salt Lake City metropolitan area, that number is 40%. And if you look at graduate degrees, we're at 8.6% of our population. The Phoenix metro area is 14% of its population, and Salt Lake City is 16% of its population. And those kinds of educational credentials often lead to economic development opportunities for communities. And so we're happy to be a part of this story and growing with our community. And so we started, as you know, humbly in 1957 as Nevada Southern University, a branch campus out in the middle of the desert. And now we're in the heart of the urban area of Commissioner Sager-Bloom's district of Clark County, and now 33,000 students, grown dramatically since, even 1980. 1980, since 1980, the population of Clark County has grown by about 5 times. The population of UNLV has grown by about 3 times. And so we, even with our explosive growth, haven't fully kept up with the population of Clark County. Nonetheless, we're the largest institution of higher education in Nevada by a large margin, and with our key partners, College of Southern Nevada, who we work very closely with and are very complementary educational missions, we are serving the dynamic growth of Clark County. And we're serving people from every zip code in Clark County. We're eager to be in every zip code, and if there's any opportunities for us to engage in zip codes that have fewer residents coming to UNLV, we would be eager to be partners in that effort. We are an access-oriented institution that serves 85% of the people coming from Clark County. More than 40% are Pell recipients, and many of our students are attending, especially their first year of college, free with all of the financial aid that we're awarding. And so we're delivering impact at a very large scale, producing far more college degrees in the state of Nevada than anyone else, with 7,000 graduates each year, and most of those people staying in Clark County. We're also trying to really focus on hitting specific community needs. As Regent Goodman talked about, our School of Medicine is a key addition to trying to serve our community. Nursing is an incredible shortage, and working closely with Nevada State University to try to fill the nursing shortage. We also do a lot to serve mental health needs in this community. I actually came here to start the clinical psychology PhD program at UNLV, and we're the largest city in the country that didn't have a standalone clinical psychology program when I arrived. We started that program in 1999, and now we have leaders across the state in serving the mental health needs of our community. We're also looking at what are specific kind of talent pipelines that we need. We all know that we've really struggled to have enough qualified teachers in classrooms, and so we're really growing our elementary education programs, our IT programs, our nursing programs, computer science, all of the kinds of degrees that a thriving community like this will need. We also really believe in direct engagement with the community. We're working with the Innovation Corridor and Commissioner Knapp's district, especially with our Harry Reid Research and Technology Park. We're doing our fine arts in the center activities in order to enrich the cultural heart of Clark County. We do a lot of youth programming. This summer we had 40 summer programs on our campus serving 1,600 residents. And we're also trying to work with Cooperative Extension to realize the vision that Governor and now President Sandoval put forward of Stronger Together, about how we can work to continue to amplify the mission of Cooperative Extension. We're also looking at what the future is, making sure we're growing our online degrees. We have new efforts in immersive learning. AI is going to be a big part of the future of all of us, and making sure that we are teaching our students to be AI ready as they graduate. and doing research on areas that are critical to the future of Clark County, especially water resources and sustainability. And as we know, cybersecurity is a huge issue. And that's just a quick overview of what we're doing at UNLV to serve this community. And again, my commitment to you is that every day as the president of UNLV, my North Star will be what can we do to make this community better and to provide the both education and services that our residents need. So thanks you for your attention. We have a reception in the Pueblo room that we're welcome anybody who can come by and chat further, and I'm happy to answer any questions that anyone may have.
Thank you. First, I just wanted to thank Regents Goodman and Brager for being here, but also for putting Dr. Heavey in this position. In the time that he has been there, at least for me, and I know for my colleagues, the collaboration that has already occurred has been 10 times. And so I just thank you for that. President Heavey, I'm, as you know, glad you're in this role because you didn't have to buy your scarlet and gray. You've had it for a long time. You know this community, you know the needs of the community and the campus, and just thrilled that you are there and that we have this collaboration, yes, in the Innovation District, yes, we'll continue to work through any issues that come up between Clark County, between any of our entities and the university, but knowing that we have someone who we can work with in a collaborative way makes all the difference. So thank you for your presentation. Chair Sagerblum, thank you for agendizing this, and just appreciate the work that we're going to do together.
Commissioner McCurdy.
Thank you, Chair Sagerblum, and thank you, President Heavey, for your presentation. It's been truly a joy working with you since you've come into this new role. I think that we've made a lot of progress together. I'm looking forward to the future, what all we have to accomplish within my district, but broadly across Clark County. So thank you for the presentation. I'm proud to be an alumni of UNLV, Greenspoon College of Urban Affairs, and look forward to doing great things. Thank you.
Seeing no one else, I'd like you to come up with your team. I do have a proclamation for you. I also want to correct one thing. Commissioner Gibson and I share UNLV, so I would love to have it, but he's still have.
Yeah, until a few minutes ago, I was thrilled to have you at UNLV.
Anyway, if you and your team would come on up, please. There we go. All right. So I do have, as I said, I do have a proclamation for you. Today is UNLV Day at Clark County. Go back to the Pueblo room. There's all kinds of resources there. But we're just so proud to have you as part of our partnership, and we look forward so much to working with you. The medical school, the nursing school, all the schools, and just so proud. And you already said it, so let's maybe we can have the dean of the medical school say something.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here today. I'm the current dean of the Kirk Kerkorian School of Medicine at UNLV, and very honored to be here serving our community, being able to expand the opportunities for the residents of Clark County to receive health care and provide fantastic educational opportunities to the students in Nevada.
Great. Thank you so much. All right, it's still not 10, so I guess we'll go forward.
Commissioners, item 51 is to appoint John Pirro and reappoint Commissioner McCurdy to serve on the Nevada Local Justice Reinvestment Coordinating Council for a 2-year term beginning September 2025, and direct staff to notify the Nevada Department of Sentencing Policy that the appointments have been made.
Mr. Chair, if there is no further discussion on the item, I move approval of the appointments.
There's a motion, cast your vote. That motion passes.
Your next item is to approve the allocation of $146,393,764 from the County Capital Projects Fund, and $40 million from the IT Capital Projects Fund, and $13,105,000 from the Special Ad Valorem Capital Projects Fund to fund countywide capital projects.
Chairman, I just wanted to take a second and highlight a couple things in this agenda item because it's really significant. It's a big commitment to a lot of the things that each of us care about. I thank Jessica and her team for getting all of this together. We've got $9 million in here for traffic safety related items. I would just ask on those items if we could have some follow-up on the line items of where those expenditures go. I'm big fan of most of these line items. I just want to be able to follow it through and see exactly where they're going to. But in addition to the traffic safety items, you also have a real commitment to animal welfare here. Clark County's moving forward with a supplemental animal shelter design and construction. This will not deter us from shelter diversion, continuing to fund programs that hopefully prevent our animals from getting into shelters to begin with, but it's a commitment that has to be made. As we just saw in the previous presentation, our population continues to grow. Current shelter services are continuously at capacity, and we have to continue to kind of recommit to expanding and meeting the need of the community. You also have the commitment to life-saving services and more urgently meeting the need of emergency shelter services through the construction project at the Silver Bowl. So I'm appreciative of everybody for getting these expenditures together. They're things that are not luxury items, but things that we need in this community and are meeting the demand. If there isn't any further discussion, I would move for approval of item 52.
There's a motion, cast your vote. That motion passes.
Commissioners, your next item is to authorize the creation of 27 general fund positions, 14 non-general fund positions, and 1 position in the redevelopment agency.
Move for approval.
May I ask a question?
Yes.
So on the redevelopment agency, I understand that position is coming out of the redevelopment, but are the rest of them going to stay in the economic development part so that we can have a broad stroke? Is that the plan?
Yes, the only position created for the redevelopment agency is the one today, but there are a handful of positions in economic development, and they will stay funded from the general fund and then be used for a variety of different economic development projects throughout the year.
Across all 7 districts, because it's different from the redevelopment, correct?
Yes, outside of the redevelopment agency.
Okay.
All right, there's a motion, cast your vote. That motion passes.
Commissioners, your next item is to receive a report regarding the conditions of confinement at county jail facilities to include the deaths of any inmates in custody or take other action as appropriate.
Good morning.
Morning. My name is Nita Schmidt. I am Deputy Chief of Detention Services for LVMPD, and it is my honor to be the Deputy Chief over the 3 Clark County Detention Center facilities, the large one that's downtown, the one in North Valley Complex, and then our temporary holding facility in Laughlin. This presentation covers the NRS requirement under 211.030 that is a biannual report to the County Commission regarding the conditions of confinement and a review of deaths in custody. So who are we? Detention Services Division. Our vision is to be the safest jail in America. It's not something we take lightly. It's our top goal, and we work every day to try to achieve that. Our mission is to set the standard for American jails. We are one of the largest jails in the United States, and we are accredited by the American Correctional Association, as well as having an additional correction for the National Commission on Correctional Health Care. Our mission is to set the standards, and our values for our agency are integrity, courage, accountability, respect, and excellence. The current capacity of our facilities is a little bit different right now because we're under renovation. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Our Clark County Detention Center has a current capacity of a little over 3,000, North Valley Complex a little over 1,000, and our Tucker Holding Facility, which is a temporary facility, has a capacity of 40, and our electronic monitoring program has a capacity of 950. Right now, our average count for electronic monitoring is around 500 per day, so we're about half of that in capacity. And then due to renovation, our capacity is adjusted for the number of available cells that we have. We have a major renovation going on in our South Tower, which was built in 2002, and I'll show you some photos of that later on in the presentation. So some trends for our population. We had our total bookings for this year, the first half of this year, were almost 25,000. Our average length of stay, so that's the average length of stay of somebody who comes into our facility, is about 19 and a half days, and our average daily population hovers around 2,800. If we follow this current path of the trends, we're going to see for the first time in a long, long time our detention facilities with a population of less than 50,000 bookings a year. And that's significant. In 2019, our bookings for year were just under 75,000. So comparatively, that's a reduction of about 25%. And that's through a lot of things that have gone on in the justice system, as well as some collaborative work that have been done by many partners who have invested their time in initiatives that were geared to reducing jail population and making our criminal justice system more efficient. For this reporting period, the total deaths from January 2nd until the end of June were 9. We had the demographics for those deaths are listed below: 6 males, 3 females. 8 of them were at the hospital. 1 was in the Clark County Detention Center. And at the time that I submitted this, we were pending 5 medical reports from the medical examiner. We've received a couple more since then. Speaking nationally about deaths, the #1 leading cause of deaths in jails are suicides. Then it's followed by heart disease or heart-related issues, cardiac-related issues, and then drugs. I'm happy to say that suicides are not the leading cause of death in our jails. We've done a lot throughout the years to look at things to reduce suicides in detention centers across the nation, but also very much so in our facility. And we are far lower than the national average. One of the other things talking about, and it's timely that you had a proclamation today talking about overdose deaths and having the overdose awareness. We, as you know, we have a robust MAP program in our facility, medication-assisted treatment, to assist people with drug use and to be able to give them some stability when they leave our facility so that they could re-enter society. Jails have become that intersection between public health and public safety, and we inevitably become the safety net for a lot of people for getting into care and having continued care. This is a reflection of the deaths that we've had this period during this reporting period. 3 of the 9 deaths that we had were bookings in absentia. So those are people that never entered our detention facilities. There was some interaction out on the street that caused them to be arrested, but they were never actually booked into our facility. They physically were not booked into our facilities. And one of the deaths was the person was released prior to released from custody prior to them passing. Also, a little bit about this. None of the deaths that we had in this reporting period were as a result of suicides that occurred within our facility. None of them were as a result of use of force either. So this right here is a photo of our SMART housing unit. It is our specialized mental health and recovery treatment unit. This is a housing unit that doesn't look like anything else in our facility. This is a housing unit. I know you guys have heard quite a bit about this. This is the first of its kind in its state. It is a 60-bed mental health facility that is within our jail. It has a single purpose, and that is to help people to be able, that have been deemed incompetent to proceed in their cases, to help prepare them to either transition to a mental health facility, but to also have that length of time be reduced in the mental health facility. They have had we just celebrated a year anniversary with them. They've had 25 patients that they have been treating. Our vendor has been treating in this housing unit that have been removed from the state's waiting list. That's big because the state has a waiting list for one of the 2 locations that we send people for mental health competency restoration. It allows those folks to be able to have their cases proceed, to help them move through the system a little bit faster. It also allows us to bring, when people come back from state mental health facilities, to be able to have them engaged so that they stay competent, so that those cases can proceed. The providers in this housing unit provide a number of different resources, including assisting them with those reentry initiatives so that they can be able to get out of our facility and hopefully not come back. Our South Tower is under renovation. It was built in 2002, so it's under a major renovation. We have just completed, we're working on finished the second of 5 floors that need major renovation. It looks great. The major renovation includes plumbing, upgrading of electronic systems, ADA accessibility, you name it. It's getting a full rundown from the bottom up. It's a slow process to do, and it's a challenge for us to do renovation in a facility that's still being occupied, so it's causing us to have to kind of shift our population all over the place. And then last, I wanted to show you guys some photos of the UMC hospital ward, and I know that this has been something that's been a long time coming for us. This is from probably about a month ago when I was able to go out and take a tour of it. This is going to be a huge benefit for us to go back to having a full hospital ward that's at UMC. It will allow us to take people who are in custody and receiving medical care at UMC, place them in one centralized location. This space has the ability to have 10 inmates in 8 different rooms. It's a secured location, so it'll allow us to be in a more secure location. It will allow there to be dedicated healthcare professionals that'll be assigned to this space for faster response. This will allow us to continue to reduce our costs for staffing, to be able to reduce those overtime costs and stay more within budget. It's estimated that they should be completed with a major construction in October. I'm hoping that after they place the furniture and the technology and everything else that gets in there, we should be hopefully occupying it by the end of the year. That concludes my presentation.
All right. Anyone else here wishing to say anything? No. Thank you so much. I look forward to touring the facility at the UMC. That looks fantastic.
Yep. You're welcome. Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
Commissioners, it's now 10 a.m., so we can move to the public hearing section of your agenda. Item 46 is to conduct a public hearing on the 6th substantial amendment to Clark County's FY 2020 Action Plan for Housing and Community Development in order to reprogram $4 million of Community Development Block Grant, Coronavirus CDBG, CV funds from the Homeless Services to public facilities, approve and authorize the Community Housing Administrator or her designee to submit the amendment to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, and approve and authorize the County Manager or his designee to sign the necessary documents related thereto.
All right. Is there a presentation? The microphone doesn't seem to be.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
okay,
there we go.
Thanks. Good morning, Commissioners. Dagny Stapleton, Community Housing Administrator. CDBG CV funds are funds we received from HUD as a part of the Federal CARES Act in 2020 for COVID. We have until the end of 2026 to spend these funds, so this public hearing is to request your approval to reprogram those funds to YMCA's Early Learning Village project and to amend our HUD plan to reflect that. The YMCA's Torrey Pines Early Learning Village project will transform a pop-up preschool model into a permanent early childhood education facility. This will enhance the YMCA's capacity to deliver essential services and implement preventative measures aimed at protecting vulnerable populations and from future pandemics similar to COVID-19, which is one of the requirements of this CDBG-CV funding. The YMCA project was approved by this board to receive regular CDBG funds earlier this year. However, since this project is shovel-ready and also meets the CDBG-CV criteria, we are proposing instead to fund this with the CDBG-CV. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
All right, this is a public hearing. Anyone here wishing to speak on the item? Seeing no one, we'll close the public hearing.
I move for approval.
There's a motion to approve. Cast your vote. That motion passes.
Commissioners, your next item is to conduct a public hearing, approve, adopt, and authorize the chairman to sign an ordinance amending Title 20 of the Clark County Code, Chapter 20.10, Section 20.10.013, to amend rentals, fees, and charges, general aviation airports, and provide for other matters properly related thereto, or take other action as appropriate.
Is there a presentation? Brief.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Jim Chrisley, Senior Director of Aviation, Clark County Department of Aviation. I'm here to provide a brief presentation on the update to Title 20. As you know, we're looking to update our maximum allowable rates for the rates and charges at our general aviation airports that include North Las Vegas, Henderson, Jean, and Overton. We are adjusting the fee limits. We are not proposing to go right to those maximum rates. I do have some slides here just to show what we're doing. So the big thing we are doing here, this is our base tenant rate, so we are looking to adjust those maximum rates. We've also adjusted to include 2 additional sized aircraft. Currently, aircraft anything above 3,500 square feet is charged the same. With the transition of general aviation to bigger jets, we needed to add 2 additional categories. So there are now a category 5 and 6 that are included. And then the other major provision is to update the rates with those same new categories for our transient customers. As we learned during our mega events here in town, our general aviation airports were very critical to the success of those events, and to have those rates and charges in line are very important moving forward. And then finally, we did conduct an extensive market survey across the country, and what we did discover are our current rates are low and our proposed rates are in line, both on the base customer and the transient customers, with other airports of similar purpose and need across the country. With that, that concludes my presentation, Mr. Chair.
This is a public hearing. Anyone here wishing to speak? Please come forward.
Stephanie Phillips, Political Affairs Director with Veterans in Politics, PHILLIPS. Good morning, Commissioners. I strongly oppose amending Title 20. This will raise costs for all local airport users, give preferential treatment to one private company, and rapidly erode public trust in how our airports are managed. First, the measure will raise rents and fees for airport businesses, tenants, and operators, sometimes doubling monthly rates for local pilots just to park their airplanes. Many of these pilots are active duty military, veterans, and retirees. They deserve fair treatment, not higher costs that threaten their ability to fly. Second, the favoritism. While everyone else pays more, one private company, World Fuels Air Elite, gets special treatment. Out-of-state corporate jets that buy fuel from Air Elite would avoid parking fees. This gives Air Elite a monopoly advantage, while the county may actually lose revenue. Third, the law. FAA grant assurances require airports to provide fair and equal access without unjust discrimination or unfair advantages. This proposal tilts the field toward one vendor, which violates those obligations and risks the county's FAA funding. Finally, the conflict of interest. This proposal was advanced by Ben Jajiski, the county's managing director of General Aviation Airports, who also serves as vice chairman of Air Elite's board, the very company that benefits most. That conflict of interest cannot be ignored. The hangar owners group believes it is tied to a larger agenda, removing more than 150 privately owned hangars, displacing local businesses, and turning that land over to Air Elite. Such a move will certainly trigger massive lawsuits, leaving taxpayers with the bill. Commissioners, you have a choice today. Protect fairness, competition, the military, and the small business community that depend on these airports, or hand a monopoly to one company at the public's expense. I urge you to reject this amendment and stand with the people you represent. Thank you.
Thank you. No clapping.
Good morning, Commissioners. Steve Sanson, President, Veterans in Politics International. I'm here to address what I believe is the most dangerous flaw in this ordinance, a clear conflict of interests and a complete lack of meaningful engagement with the public. This proposal comes from Ben Jajiski, the county's managing director of General Aviation Airports, who also serves as vice chairman of the board for World Fuels Air Elite, the very company that would gain the most from the amendment. Air Elite already has a fuel monopoly at Henderson, North Las Vegas, Overton, and Jean airports. This ordinance would strengthen that monopoly by granting Air Elite's selective financial benefits while raising costs for every other tenant and business. At public meetings in Henderson and North Las Vegas, Mr. Jajinsky never disclosed his position with Air Elite. That omission hid from the public the fact that the person promoting these changes holds a leadership role in the company that stands to profit from them. If he also involved in negotiating contracts with Air Elite, the ethical concerns grow even deeper. Nevada Revised Statutes, Chapter 281A prohibits public officials from using their positions to secure unwarranted advantages. NRS 281A 402 and 10 make this type of dual role impermissible. Federal law is also at stake by accepting FAA airport involvement funds. The county is bound by Grant Assurance 22, requiring non-discrimination, and Grant Assurance 23, prohibiting exclusive rights, parking fee waivers limited to Air Elite's customers violated these assurances and put FAA funding at risk. On the top of this, Nevada's open meeting laws, NRS 241, guarantees the public the right to be heard. Yet this commission has refused to repeated requests to meet with airport constituents, hangar tenants, business owners, and pilots. The hangar owner groups representing more than 200 members believes that this conflict is part of a larger agenda to eliminate over 150 privately owned hangars and transfers the land to Air Elite. That would displace small businesses, concentrated control, trigger costly litigation. For these reasons, I call this proposal to be immediately tabled until the Nevada Commission on Ethics completes a review, the FAA is consulted on possible violations, and this commission holds public meetings with those affected. Anything less would betray public trust and expose the county to enormous financial and legal consequences. Remember Badland. Thank you very much.
No clapping.
I was waiting to be called, so I guess I just got in line.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I have some handouts for the commissioners, and I'd hope that it won't start my clock until they're handed out. 8 copies there in case you need one for your recorder or something.
All right. In the meantime, state your name and spell your last name.
Sure. My name is Raymond Hallett, Hallett. I live at 1513 Via Casilla in Henderson, Nevada. You don't have to study all this. This is just so you'll know I'm not lying to you. But the first page is simply a CPI, cost of living adjustment page from the Department of Labor statistics showing that in 2011, when the previous ordinance was created, the CPI index was 225, and now it's $323, including an almost doubling because of the climate bill that was passed in 2021 and the inflation that's came along, and that's why it's marked there. But the bill before you has an averaged 154% price increase, even though the inflation was only 43% during those years, those 14 years. So projected forward, it's way more than is necessary. That would make a $100 fee today is on this thing, it's $250. And the government doesn't lie, right? They say it's 23%. Second page is a copy of the ordinance where I dissected all of the prices, and I included for your benefit the previous price and the current price and the percentage of increase for each of them. There's one that's 1,400%. It's probably not going to be used a lot. That's the $15,000 penalty for landing during F1, but which went from $1,000 to $15,000 by this ordinance. But there's a lot of social engineering happening here, or there's just somebody using random numbers, because in any particular category for the pre-existing, the rates go 78%, 82%, and 100% for the three types of aircraft. But in another one, they go down from 100% down to 67, back up to 150, and up to 167 as the aircraft size changes. Were they just lazy and they didn't bother finding out what CPI was? Or are they social engineering by trying to force the general aviation airplanes, the transient aircraft, out of North Las Vegas like they forced it out of Harry Reid? This ordinance, incidentally, would apply to Harry Reid too. So I guess if I want to fly to Harry Reid, I can now park for $40 a night, because that's the way the ordinance is written. It has flaws like that. It has flaws all over throughout it. If you buy exactly 300 gallons of fuel, you don't get the benefit. If you buy $2.99, you get this benefit. If you buy $3.01, you get that benefit. It's just poorly crafted. I also included a diagram of a sample small plane operator having to pay a $20 ramp fee just for stopping at our airport. So if he has to check his engine or take a pee, it's $20, and this takes it up to $40. Doesn't make him feel welcome. And we can do it. Yeah, we can do it. But you're not making him feel welcome, and our tourism is already down. We need to stop some of the nickel and diming. But those examples will show you that if I don't buy fuel, I pay $127. If I buy 19 gallons of gas, I pay more. And it's just not, there's no equality. They've already been spoken to. This is about Ben being on both the world elite, I'm sorry, and I'll stop if you want me to, but it's relevant information for you. And this is the Nevada statute. It says all things have to be equal. The Nevada statute.
All right, your 3 minutes are up. Thank you so much. We have your documents.
3 minutes isn't really enough time to describe how to build a pyramid.
All right. No clapping.
Hello, my name is Tim Ross, ROSS. The Clark County taxpayers will pay a high price if Title 20 of the Public Code is passed. The proposed Title 20 enables discriminatory practices and monopolistic control of our public airport. First, the Clark County taxpayers and federal taxpayers and tenants pay for this airport. Second, the Clark County Aviation Department is giving a lease to Air Elite, a large fuel company, for $0. $0. So why would they give a lease to a large fuel company for $0? Well, Ben Suzuki, a Clark County employee, is also on the board of that fuel company. Ben and the Clark County Aviation Department have allowed Air Elite to become a monopoly and are acting on their behalf instead of Clark County taxpayers or the general aviation community. They have been making it difficult to transfer ownership of hangars and harassing some of the tenants. Third, the transient parking income from the airport goes to Air Elite, the fuel company. It does not go to Clark County Aviation Department. It costs taxpayers more by misappropriating the income earned at the airport. This allows private third party to take control and profit from a public airport, basically misappropriating income from Clark County taxpayers. This undermines the public trust and financial integrity of Clark County Aviation. Third, this is a clear violation of FAA Grant Assurance Number 22, which can cause the airport to lose federal funding and leaves the county liable for violating our rights. The rights of tenants allowing jets to park for reduced fees or $0 by buying large amounts of fuel is discriminating against the small aircraft operators and is what FAA Grant Assurance number 22 is created to prevent. In fact, Clark County plans to repurpose or eliminate small aircraft hangars in order to park more large jets in their area. This is a clear violation of FAA Grant Assurance number 22. Our present goal is simply to remain as tenants as we have in the past at a reasonable cost. However, suppose the airport continues to work as a monopoly, working for Air Elite instead of the community. In that case, we're forming a group, and if needed, unfortunately, to sue the county for damages for more than the Badlands Golf situation was. It could cost Clark County taxpayers up to $800 million. Please delay your vote against Title 20. Save the Clark County and taxpayers millions of dollars. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. No clapping.
Hi there. Thanks for listening today. My name's James Grahn, Grahn, 4315 North Tioga Way, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89129. I've been a tenant of that airport, North Las Vegas, for 23 years. I can tell you in my 23 years, the services have degraded rapidly. The bathroom is shut on the north end. There's two condemned buildings. The shade hangers were falling down in aircraft, so they were simply removed, and you can park your airplane out in the sun. And to me, the worst part is the taxiways have not been swept in decades. And if you know anything about aircraft, it's horrible for sand and gravel on propeller and on engine intake systems. So having said that this airport is falling into disrepair, at least from the general aviation side, not from the corporate side, why would I want to pay more for something that has gone downhill in the 23 years I've been here? Thank you.
Thank you. Please.
Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you for letting me have this time to speak. My name is Ira Smith. I'm a disabled American veteran who proudly served in the United States Air Force. For years, I poured my passion for aviation into a flight school right here in the North Las Vegas Airport. It wasn't just a business. It was a way for me to serve the community and train the next generation of pilots. But as of February this year, we were forced to shut down. We lost our office lease, and we could not find suitable replacement on the airport property, which is required for some reason for their operation to continue. So now my business itself is gone, but my aircrafts still remain there, and they sit there sort of collecting dust, while the very fees that I am paying for and being charged for to keep it there continue to increase on me. This brings me to the proposed ordinance here today, the ordinance 20.10.013. Please, I urge you, either postpone this or do not adopt this ordinance. This ordinance, if passed, will only make an already difficult situation impossible. It will lead to increased fees and charges that will continue to squeeze out independent small businesses like me. It will make it harder for me as a veteran who has already given so much and given back to the business and continue contributing to the community. You know, I have to be frank, this feels like more than just a coincidence, though. There's a serious concern about a conflict of interest that's been brought up already involving World Fuels and the airport manager, Ben Kaczynski. It appears that the goal is to increase jet traffic and jet fuel by sales by intentionally creating an environment where general aviation is no longer welcome. This ordinance feels like the final nail in the coffin, a measure designed to ultimately eliminate general aviation altogether. And without general aviation, there will be no future pilots. So by passing this, you are not just regulating fees, you are creating a future where our airport serves only large corporate interests, leaving no room for the small businesses and passionate individuals like myself who have the heart and soul of aviation. I came here today not just to speak for myself, but for every other small business owner who believes in the spirit of general aviation. I'm asking you to protect our rights here. Please do the right thing and reject this ordinance, or at least postpone it. Thank you.
Thank you. No clapping.
Good morning. My name is Nicholas Torno. I live at 4413 Oasis Plains Avenue, North Las Vegas, Nevada. I've been a proud resident of North Las Vegas since 2017, and I'm here to talk about tenant rates today and operational policies at CCDOA managed airports, specifically North Las Vegas Airport, because that's where I'm based. I'm a blue-collar dad with a daughter that likes to fly. I don't have any businesses. I'm not tied to any organizations. I'm not very political, but this is something that I'm pretty connected to. Last year, I bought a derelict Cessna and restored it so that I could pursue my dream of flying. This April, it happened. And it seems like right now, I'm being priced out. So I'm concerned with the proposed increase in tenant rates at VGT, especially without corresponding improvement in services. These rate increases, along with certain operational policies, negatively impact the general aviation community specifically. This impact is not only felt by tenants, but also by the local community who derive benefits from our local policies, pilots, and airports. VGT tenants provide significant opportunities, offering flights to friends, families, neighbors, and most importantly, youth. We offer mentorship to aspiring mechanics and continuing education to active duty airmen that learn the fundamentals of smaller aircraft engines, all of which takes place at no cost to the local community. There's no better ambassador for aviation. There's no better ambassador for North Las Vegas general aviation community or CCDOA than happy tenants that feel supported by local airport management and government. And right now, as a new tenant, I'm not feeling it. I just got my license, so I'm a crash investigator at Nellis. I've worked fighters for 18 years. I've worked GA, general aviation, for another 8 years, and it just keeps getting harder and harder and harder just to exist. So that's why I'm here today. These rate hikes and requirements for general aviation operating permits make it hard to bring new business to VGT. I've had 2 operating permit requests denied because I couldn't have a facility for a mobile maintenance business, which I didn't need which I didn't need a facility. So it makes it difficult to bring outside services onto the field for aircraft owners. Each increase prices out a tenant. Each added restriction takes away an opportunity to train a young mechanic or the chance to spark a child's interest in aviation, my daughter included. I know with my budget specifically, I feel every dollar come and I also feel every dollar go. It's severely impactful. I respectfully request that CCDOA reconsider the Title 20. I'd like to see a reevaluation of the current tenant rate structure, maybe exploring alternative funding models for our airport. And I'd like a review of specific operational policies that are considered unduly burdensome to people looking to do business on the field, such as the blanket requirement to lease adequate facilities for customers and staff from which to operate, regardless of their business model. It's personally impacted me. I would love to show the council members the other side of the coin. Seeing it in action from the end user's perspective is more informative than any report. If you guys have time, I'm just a guy. But if you'd like to come out and walk the field, go fly, go check things out, meet my daughter, I'd love to spend time with anybody that would be willing to listen. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Kirsten Johnson. My address is 19 Morning Glow Lane, Las Vegas. My family has long been term tenants and hangar owners at North Las Vegas Airport. I'm here to oppose the proposed amendment to Title 20. This amendment is not about improving the airport. It is about advancing a private agenda. The manager promoting it also sits on the board of the fuel vendor that stands to profit the most. That is a clear conflict of interest. When the same person who sets the fees and the charges also serves on a company that benefits financially, this process is compromised. Decisions that should protect the community instead favor one private business. That erodes trust in the county government and damages the integrity of our airports. Our airports are public assets built with maintained taxpayer dollars. They must serve everyone fairly. Yet this proposal ties tenant fees to fuel purchases in a way that funnels money to one vendor, while forcing hangar owners like myself and my family to pay more unless we buy fuel on their terms. That's not fairness, and that's not transparency. Even if the policy had merit, and it doesn't, the conflict of interest alone is enough reason to reject it. For decades, my family has invested in this airport. We want to see it thrive, but it cannot thrive if leadership places private interests ahead of public trust. I urge you to reject this amendment and make clear that Clark County's airports will be managed for the public good, not for private enrichment. Please vote no on today's amendment. Thank you.
All right, seeing no one else, we'll close the public hearing.
Mr. Chair, I have comments. Would like to get clarification on the representations that have been made regarding the conflict of interest. I think that's pretty significant if true. And I also would like to have some justification around the pricing that has been represented, particularly to the percentage increases. Thank you.
Of course, thank you. Rosemary Vasiliadis, Director of Aviation. That there has been a myriad of comments on various subjects involving general aviation operations just in general. Appears there's some misunderstandings and assumptions made on some future activity that could take place. But what I want to state for the record is the process that this went, that what is before you went through, and that is the tenants of the GA airports were notified in May. There were in-person follow-up meetings held with them on May 5th and May 7th. The Department of Aviation followed the business impact statement process, sending out over 400 notifications to stakeholders and all the chambers of commerce in the Valley. It was published, the notices were published in the Review Journal on May 23rd, 22nd, and 29th. As reported to you at the last meeting, we received 3 comments from that, all on the same subject matter as how basically are we going to go right to the highest not to exceed amount. We explained we weren't, and that was the end of it. And in addition, let me just state for the record, we hold quarterly meetings with our tenants. All these comments are new to myself and my staff. We will be happy to meet with them independent of what this item is about. And then I can ask Jim and Joe, to talk about, excuse me, I'm sorry, Mr. Vice Chair, talk about the pricing structure that's before you today.
I think it would be appropriate, based upon the representations that have been made about the conflict of interest. I think that sticks out pretty much. I think that's,
sure.
We need to address that.
So for the record, I'm Joe Prokowski, the Airport Chief Financial Officer. I'd like to clarify a few things. So there's no tax money involved in this at all. It's all user fees. So first, I'd like to clear that off for the record. And we haven't done an increase. It's approaching 15 years since we've done an increase on these rates. Since I've been CFO, we have subsidized the general aviation airports several $1 million every year, with the exception of the fiscal year where we had the Super Bowl, where we had some additional fees for the private jets that flew in for the Super Bowl and for the first year of Formula One. So this is getting us kind of in place to be self-sustaining and earn enough revenue to operate the facility. Also, the first year fees, we're increasing approximately 10%. So, that CPI index that was provided, obviously from 2011, is a lot higher than 10%, probably more in order of 50%. So we're just trying to play a little bit of catch up here. The total amount here, so you can see for like a small tenant, for an uncovered apron goes from $45 to $49.50. For a larger uncovered apron, it goes from $250 to $275. And then from a shade hanger, the smaller shading hangers, $100 to $110. So it's a 10% increase for all of the base tenants there. And then as far as the World Fuel project, we do bid that. So we had recently bid that. So it is competitively bid, the fuel supply to the general aviation airports.
And Jim Chrisley again for the record, and the Air Elite program is merely a customer service program that we participate in. It's not directly linked to the World Fuels bid contract that Joe just mentioned.
And that's always been my understanding of Air Elite. At least I'm more familiar with the operations at Henderson, but I guess what are we missing? What's the disconnect there? Because I've understood Air Elite to be a customer service, raise the hospitality level at the GA facilities.
It's a program offered, linked to World Fuels, but there's no linkage between the sale of fuel and the customer service program. So basically, the customer service program, we had to meet certain standards within our terminal, within our training of our employees to be deemed Air Elite qualified. So that is all Air Elite is a customer service program that we are participating in. And there is a separate agreement for that versus the fuel contract that was mentioned. There's no ties between the two.
So we're clearly stating that there is no, to your knowledge, conflict of interest. Is that correct?
That is correct, to my knowledge, yes.
So, may I ask a question, Mr. Chair? So let me ask this. So we do fuel bids across the government all the time, right? Whether they're different departments or different agencies, that's something that we always do. So when you say they're competitive bid, they go out, and then I feel like we've done this, and very seldom we don't change, but sometimes we do change, right, to whoever it is. So you're saying that you went out to a competitive bid that gives a lot of people the opportunity to give a proposal. There's no inside information because we have sealed bid process, all of those things, right?
That's correct.
Okay. So I'm trying to reread the ordinance to see where the connection is, and I know the airport, Sunshine Cafe is my little hidden gem eating spot on Sundays, so I know that area, I know that pretty well. So where's the connection on get better pricing if you buy their fuel? I'm trying to find that in the ordinance, because I'm not understanding that, and I want to make sure that we're addressing some of those
basically that's
concerns.
linked as a transient customer comes in. If they stay a certain amount of time, they're charged a certain rate. If they purchase fuel, this is how it is currently as well in Title 20. If they purchase fuel, that rate to park is discounted based on the amount of fuel that they buy.
Excuse me, Jim, speak right into that microphone.
Oh,
you kind of tail off when you're at the end of your sentence, but the end of the sentence is kind of significant here.
Sorry. So what the current ordinance states, when a transient customer, non-base tenant, comes and they stay a certain amount of time, there's a certain rate they're charged. If they purchase certain amounts of fuel, those rates to park are reduced accordingly based on the amount of fuel they purchase.
And that's the way that it's been for a very long time, though.
It's been that
right?
way for a very long time currently, and it's now, this ordinance update is merely updating those prices associated with those stays.
And so let me ask this question then, how is that discount applied? Because I believe if the way it used to be is that there's documentation on what that expectation is, and so it's not just the stroke of a pen, right?
It's published, totally clear and published on our website, as well as when they interact with our customer service folks. If they purchase fuel, their rate is discounted on their parking fees.
But it's a consistent.
It's very
rate
consistent.
that's-
It's outlined
right?
very clearly.
So it says if you're here
If
for
you-
3 hours
Or
versus
if you purchase
24.
greater than 50, less than 75 gallons, you get a certain discount. If you go above 300 gallons, it changes as well. So it's based on the amount of fuel purchased.
And our fuel contract is good for typically, don't we do 3 to 5 years or something? How long is that for? Sorry.
I don't have that information right now, but yes.
Well, I mean, it's not,
generally
we don't do it every year because
Right.
we're,
I think we rebid it
we're
last
hedging
calendar
our bets,
year.
right? Okay.
Okay.
Is there any other clarification needs to be made to us by our legal counsel?
No, I mean, I think Commissioner Kirkpatrick is correct. The connection between the fuel purchase has always been an ordinance, and like the department said, these fees haven't been updated for 15 years. So this is really before you for an update of those fees related to that.
All right. Commissioner Becker?
Well, based on some of the things that have been brought up today in this meeting, I am not comfortable going forward. I believe that there should be a little bit additional time to address the concerns of the people that have come here. So for me, if it's easily explainable and you would like to meet with the people that are here, I think that we should be able to give it a little bit more time. Yeah. Yes. I would like to hold this item for the future. I don't know if we need to put a date on it, but.
I would just say, yeah, if we are going to hold it, there should be a date, and it should be relatively soon, because
I agree.
I'm all for explaining it thoroughly, but it's, we're going on 15 years here. So.
Yeah, it was my understanding that today was just to raise rates that had not been addressed in 15 years. And for me, that's perfectly understandable. But if there's an issue of conflicts of interest and there are parties that are involved that work for the airport and are also benefiting from a contract that would be entered into, I am very uncomfortable with that.
2 weeks?
2 weeks, I believe, is enough time.
So that would be September.
So your motion would be to hold this item until the September 2nd meeting.
All right. So there's a motion to hold the item until September 2nd. Cast your vote. That motion passes. And congratulations, Mr. Chrisley. This is your first meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I look forward to working with you all on such meetings in the future, so thank you.
Commissioners, your next item is to conduct a public hearing and adopt a policy that allows Clark County Real Property Management the authority to conduct job order contracting in accordance with policy guidelines, Assembly Bill number 43 of the 2025 Nevada Legislative Session, and applicable federal, state, and local codes and regulations. Authorize the Director of RPM or her designee to identify projects for the purpose of processing and executing job orders in accordance with its standard operation procedure and conditions of the job order contract, and take other actions as deemed necessary.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Commissioners. John Advent, Deputy Director with Real Property Management. Today, presenting quickly on this updated policy for our new JOC program. As a quick background, the county successfully completed a 3-year pilot program for this delivery method under Senate Bill 67. It was recently passed into permanency under AB 43. And as a requirement of that bill, we need to establish a new policy. So the new policy in front of you today is very similar to that was previously approved 3 years ago, with the updated verbiage that addresses the new Assembly Bill 43 language. We have added the requirement for apprenticeship participation and reporting, and then we're proposing an updated contract term with our future job order contractors coming in. The previous pilot was 3 years, so it limited it to a 3-year contract. We would like to go with 3 years with 2 one-year terms under this policy. That's basically it in a nutshell, but I can answer any questions you may have.
All right, there's a public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak on this item? Seeing no one, we'll close the public hearing and turn it over to Commissioner McCurdy.
If there are no comments, I move for approval.
There's a motion for approval. Cast your vote. That motion passes. Thank you.
Commissioners, your next item is to conduct a public hearing and approve and authorize the chair to sign the collective bargaining agreement between Clark County and the Clark County Prosecutors Association effective July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026, and extend the same salary and benefit changes to non-union employees not covered by the CCPA collective bargaining agreement.
Good morning.
Good morning, Chair and Commissioners. Curtis Germany, Human Resources Director. For the record, first, let's like to start out by thanking everyone from the CCPA for their participation in the collective bargaining process this year, as well as the County Manager's Office and the electeds as well. The item before you today is a full contract with a one-year term. The cost of the agreement is roughly $1.8 million. During the course of these negotiations, we were able to modify 4 different articles and an appendix. There are approximately 173 impacted positions in this bargaining unit. Additionally, there is a signed letter of agreement, which we are modifying the starting pay upon entry into these roles at $100,000, and that's also moving those new to role up to meet that amount as well. And it's like I said, it's a one-year deal. So with that, that's going to conclude my presentation this morning, and I'm here for any questions you may have.
All right. This is a public hearing. Anyone here wishing to speak? Any prosecutors here? Seeing no one, we'll close the public hearing and turn it over to Commissioner McCurdy.
There are no comments. I move for approval.
There's a motion. Cast your vote. Thank you. That motion passes.
Commissioners, we can now move back to the business section of your agenda. Item 55 is to receive a presentation from the Community Housing Office on the Welcome Home programs, including the county's Welcome Home Community Land Trust.
Good morning again, Commissioners. Dagny Stapleton, Community Housing Administrator. I have a very brief update on the Welcome Home programs for you this morning, including the Community Land Trust, our homeownership program. As we recently updated you, to date, since this commission created the Community Housing Fund and the Welcome Home programs in 2022, we've supported the creation or rehab of approximately 5,000 affordable rental units across Southern Nevada, which equates to an increase or preservation of approximately 20% of our deed-restricted housing supply. With the approval earlier of item number 37, we can add 453 units to that number. Also want to note that we are funding more units at 30% AMI for our most vulnerable. We're also funding some permanent supportive housing, have created a handful of development incentives in partnership with comprehensive planning, and we actually have 6 parcels in play in various stages of the development process for housing for projects that otherwise would not have happened through the Welcome Home program. Just a couple pictures of projects that we have supported. This is our permanent supportive housing project, Tropicana Trails. Before I talk about our homeownership project, the Welcome Home Community Land Trust, I want to ask our communications team. They've got a video they've prepared for us that they're going to play.
Clark County and Cavison Homes are working together to make the age-old American dream of home ownership possible. The Welcome Home Community Land Trust uses a modern model where working families can buy a home at a price they can afford, not just today, but for generations to come.
I mean, you're either part of the problem or part of the solution. The counties chose to be part of the solution.
In a community land trust, the homeowner owns the home, while the land is owned by the county. This helps set an attainable price, builds equity for families, and ensures that future buyers will also have a chance to purchase an attainable home. It's a model to support families and strengthen communities. One of the 2 projects to be completed first under this program is Cactus Trails, a vibrant 20-acre neighborhood that will open the door for 210 families to own beautiful single-family homes and put down roots for their future.
To me, it's a legacy project. I grew up here, I raised my kids here, I went to school here, and it's a way for us to give back to the community that's really, really desperately needed. 210 homes total. Square footage is 12 to about 1,680 square feet. And they're beautiful homes. They're going to look just like you would see all around you. They're the same type of home, same architectural standards, same colors, same color palette, same everything. It's just a little bit smaller.
Using the Community Land Trust plan, Cactus Trails will open the door to home ownership to people such as teachers, truck drivers, and other working families who might not qualify for a mortgage in a conventional neighborhood. Every Community Land Trust homeowner will have to meet various eligibility requirements, such as participating in homebuyer education. These HUD-certified classes will help prepare families for the responsibilities of owning a home and ensure this program is the right match for them, setting them up for long-term success.
For Cactus Trails, there is going to be requirements for homebuyer education. This is going to be HUD certified classes that these potential homebuyers are going to have to go through to make sure this program is going to fit them. So they're going to be on this property for the long term. Not only that, but when they're going to qualify, these are not buyers that don't have their own funds, right? They're going to have at least 3% of their own funds down. The credit score is going to need to be higher than your traditional credit score for just qualifying for a loan itself. So we're talking about home buyers that are going to have their own money and need higher credit scores.
Many people wonder whether homes at Cactus Trails might become rentals or sold to investors. It's important to know these homes are owner-occupied, not rentals, meaning the people who live there own their homes and are committed to the community.
The people that are going to be living here have to go through probably a little bit more stringent process to get the mortgage than what the people that are living here now. It's not low income, it's not Section 8, and that's middle. That's what we call, I've heard it called workforce housing, the missing middle, but there's a big hole in Las Vegas and nationwide in this price point, and that's what we're trying to do, is trying to fill a need.
Cactus Trails will offer top-tier homes designed with quality and care. When people own their homes, it creates a real sense of pride and belonging. These homes aren't just a place to live, they're long-term investments that help build lasting value in the area. It's about creating a neighborhood where families can grow, thrive, and feel truly connected to their community.
This is a path to be, or a time to be smart about how you invest in real estate, and CLT communities really give you that opportunity if you qualify to leverage a unique position where you're not necessarily paying full price for the same type of assets and community amenities that you would get right down the street. I certainly think it's an exciting project because it's so new and being rolled out in so few communities around the country. I do see the advantage for our valley as a high growth community to bring in affordable housing options for that workforce community.
Some neighbors might worry that affordability comes with a cost, like declining property values. This is a misconception that real estate experts also agree on.
I believe Cactus Trails will not affect the values of the surrounding neighborhood.
County leaders and real estate appraisers want neighbors to know that CLT homes are appraised differently and will not impact or be directly compared to the value of houses in nearby communities.
Well, from an appraisal standpoint, wouldn't be used in appraisals for houses outside of the project.
In addition to generating home ownership opportunity through the Community Land Trust, Clark County's historic Welcome Home Program and Community Housing Fund are changing lives, helping low-income families, seniors, and working parents secure affordable rental housing. Since 2022, the Board of County Commissioners has allocated nearly $250 million to tackle this critical need. Partnering with builders, lenders, and community groups, Clark County is creating safe, affordable neighborhoods people are proud to call home.
Thanks so much to the communications team and the stakeholders who worked to create that video. Just a few more things about the Welcome Home Community Land Trust. These home buyers, these homes will be for folks at 80% and 100% and below AMI. These homes are guaranteed to be resold to families at the same AMI levels, so it creates the opportunity of home ownership for decades to come. The homebuyers must meet strict qualifications to receive one of the homes, including being able to qualify for a mortgage and being county residents. Homebuyers will be selected through a lottery process, and we have 2 developments in the pipeline, Cactus Trails in unincorporated Clark County and Rebecca Place in the city of Las Vegas. Here's some additional information on each of these projects, including that we expect applications to open Q4 in this year and Q1 2026, respectively. There are over 300 community land trusts throughout the United States, some with far more homes than this, but we are the first to start a CLT at this scale with two subdivisions. So really this is a historic project and a historic investment that the county is making to provide accessible home ownership to folks in our community. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions or provide any other details that you might like.
Commissioner Jones.
Just want to say thank you to Dagny, Margot, and the entire CLT team for all the tremendous amount of work they put into this, and to the communications team for putting together that video. I know it's going to be really valuable as we go into the zoning process and really educate folks on what these projects are about and why we as a board are so committed to providing a better access to housing. So.
Do we need a motion? Nope, just a presentation.
I also quickly wanted to say that I am very excited about these two projects. There's a lot happening in our community. There's a lot that we do bi-weekly, on this board, but I don't think there's anything that we do that's more important than providing housing for families in our community. I personally want to thank Commissioner Jones for his leadership with Cactus Trails, because that's going to change so many families and change the trajectory of where they can go and who they can be within this lifetime. So thank you, Commissioner Jones, and thank you for all of your leadership.
I think, doesn't Commissioner Kirkpatrick have one too?
And Commissioner Kirkpatrick.
All right, thank you so much. Does that conclude our meeting?
And we can now move to your second section set aside for public comment.
All right, this is the second period for public comment.
Morning again, Commissioners. Stephanie Phillips, Political Affairs Director with Veterans in Politics. I speak in advocacy of Jasmine and Eddie Rojas. As I understand it, this body has jurisdiction over agencies like Child Haven, CPS, and DCFS when it comes to oversight and policy. Every elected official in the state with jurisdiction must get involved and start holding these agencies accountable for their actions. Imagine your child ripped from their bed as they are sleeping at 3 a.m. with no court order, warrant, when there is no sign of abuse or harm. Imagine your children being moved to five different placements within a 9-month period of time. Imagine your kids being moved to a foster home or to Child Haven without notice, cause, or a court order. Imagine seeking medical records from Child Haven and being told they are not allowed to give parents medical records, and it must go through a CPS caseworker, yet that caseworker ignores your request. Imagine your child needs medication that could be life-threatening if they did not get it, and Child Haven not be able to tell a parent whether they have the medication or have given it to the child. Imagine being accused of abusing your children, but you're innocent. Initial tests appear to show possible signs of abuse, but are often mistaken for other serious medical and genetic conditions. Imagine CPS blocking your ability to schedule medical tests for your child and your ability to be in an emergency room to make medical decisions for your child. This is what happens to Nevada families. There is abuse of power, severe overreach, parental and civil right violations, parent alienation, false accusations, lying, and beyond. Standard protocol needs to be implemented immediately for oversight of CPS, Child Haven, and DCFS. Number one, where abuse has not been proven beyond a reasonable doubt, parents must be notified prior to their children being moved, and a court order must be required before changing placements. Number two, visitations set up within 24 hours of a new placement. Number three, phone calls allowed daily with children. Number four, CPS must not interfere when a parent schedules medical testing and is present at medical appointments. Number five, Child Haven must be required to give parents medical records directly. Number six, placements are chosen by a collaboration of the presiding judge, the parents, and CPS, not solely CPS. A full investigation of CPS worker Carrie Allen Singleton needs to be conducted for abuse of power and position. I urge the Commission to get involved and fully investigate these agencies. There are thousands of parents who are affected by them, but more so, the poor, innocent children are affected in the most devastating and horrific ways. We, the taxpayers of Clark County, urge this body to move swiftly in this matter. The children in Clark County are counting on you and all elected officials with jurisdiction over these agencies, the very agencies that are supposed to be protecting children. I speak in advocacy of Jasmine and Eddie Rojas. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioner Steve Sampson, President of the Veterans in Politics Foundation. I stand here today for the families who cannot be here because of their voices have been stolen and their children ripped away by the very agencies meant to protect them, DFS, CPS, and Child Haven. I want you to listen, not as politicians, but as parents, as grandparents. I want you to picture the faces of your own children and grandchildren as I speak. Picture this. It is midnight. Your grandchild is sleeping peacefully in their bed. Suddenly, there's a pounding on the door. No warrant, no judge's order, just a caseworker like Carrie Allen Singleton barging into your home with intimidation and threats. In minutes, your child or your grandchild is screaming, clinging, begging not to be taken, and then gone. Not because of abuse, not because of neglect, but because the system can. This is happening in Clark County. This is happening under your watch. These caseworkers are not experts. Many have no education in child psychology, no training in trauma, no understanding of the lives they destroy. Yet they walk into courtrooms with confidence, lying under oath, deceiving judges, making a mockery of justice. And because of their words they know are false, families are shattered. Child Haven is not a refuge. It is a warehouse of suffering. Children cry themselves to sleep in strange beds because holding blankets that are not theirs, whispering through tears, why didn't mommy come? Why didn't daddy save me? These children do not understand that their parents are fighting every second to get them back. What they learn instead is abandonment, betrayal, despair. The wound never heals. Commissioners, you hold the power here. These agencies report to you. Their budgets, their authority, their oversight is yours, which means every unlawful removal, every trespass, every intimidation, every lie in court, every tear shed at Child Haven is on your conscience if you do nothing. So let me ask you, mother to mother, father to father, grandparent to grandparent, would you stand silent while a stranger lies under oath to steal your grandchild? Would you stay quiet while your child is dragged out of the bed in the night by someone with no warrant, no authority, no truth? Would you accept your family being destroyed by a caseworker who treats lives like paperwork? This is not child protection. This is government cruelty. This is the state-sponsored kidnapping. And the children of Clark County are begging you with their tears, their screams, their silence to stop it. History will remember this moment, either as the time this commission stood up for families or as the time it took while children are stolen from homes. The choice is yours. Please do not let another child.
Your 3 minutes are up.
Thank you very much. And I looked up all of you. All of you are parents or grandparents.
Your
so
3
this should
minutes
apply
are
to
up.
all of you. Thank you, Chair. I'm sorry, this is very emotional.
Obviously.
Until it knocks on your door, then you'll never know.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, can I speak now?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Al Rojas, active in the community for community safety. And I just wanted to report some positive things that are going on in our community, how law enforcement is really helping us out. I really do want to give a compliment to our Clark County Police Department with how they're doing well with our parks. And, our parks are so important, especially like, I'm a senior citizen, I'm 65, and some people complain about going to the park. There's a lot of homeless. But I can say in our Clark County parks, they're doing really well with the county police department, and especially at Martin Luther King Park, which was they just did a road there, and before there was a lot of RVs around the park, and I was going to call, and I don't know how they did it, but 3 days later everything got cleared up, and it's a great park to go to. I'm getting a lot of compliments in the community that park is just turned the whole image around, and so that communicate, and I have to attribute, this is really what I wanted to say. There must be good communication that's going on now with the Clark County Parks and Metro, because I see that collaboration, and that's what it's going to take. That's happening in our community, and I want to compliment both our Clark County Police, Metro for working together. We still need a little bit more accessibility when somebody wants to call, if there's homeless at the park, to reach the Clark Police. We still need to work on that just a little bit, but I really want to just thank our law enforcement and our commissioners who are keeping everything coordinated. So I just wanted to get that out there. Let's enjoy our parks. Our parks are important. People go out there on the weekends with their family, with their churches. It's a place to go relax. And you don't want to be like some of these parks, and I have to say it, Las Vegas City Park, JC Park, it's a disaster. You go in there, nothing but a bunch of shopping carts with homeless. It's scary. Nobody even wants to go there anymore. But we're not having that probably in our county parks. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good morning again.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here. Chairman, thank you. I have 2 minutes, I suppose, left, right?
Yes, but we'll give you two and a half.
Okay, thank you. All right, so my name is Marco Montenegro. I am the operational director of Akari Law Firm, personal injury firm. And the reason I'm here because once upon a time I was an Uber driver, and I'm doing excellent, thank God. But I do want to stand up for Uber and Lyft drivers. Now, I don't know if ever anyone brought to your attention, but I can tell you that Uber has been taking advantage of these good people for many years. They're going to celebrate now 10 years servicing Las Vegas. And I don't know if you know this, but they're not providing uninsured motorists neither to drivers or riders. And guess what? They actually reject, their COOs or CFOs reject on behalf of drivers. I have one right here, he's a friend of mine, and he can confirm. I'm willing to provide you also paperwork so you guys can see that they do that. If I was to do that on anyone's behalf, I would be jailed. They don't even get slapped on the wrist. Please understand, a single hospital visit can range anywhere between $10,000 to $70,000, depending on what's done on a person. Uber has made $46 billion, and they claim that they profited only 10 last year. Lyft, however, they did a lot worse, sadly, only $16 billion. Average driver, Uber driver, full-time driver makes $32,000. And the only thing that they're offering, Uber offers $5,000 in MedPay, or Lyft is a little more generous. They offer $10K in MedPay, and that's it. Now, I have to go and tell my client, let's say Mohammed Gwasi, who is now having confirmed permanent brain damage. I have to tell him that he's going to get offer of $5,000 by Uber. That's all they're going to give him. Please, this needs to change. I'm asking you, there's a 5,200 registered Uber and Lyft drivers. Most of them do full-time. That is a critical mass. I promise you, I will unionize them. I will do everything I can with the help of a couple other counselors, pro bono. We're going to create a movement, and I promise you, next time you see me, there's going to be a lot more of them, but I'm asking you, please put an agenda. They either need their licenses revoked or suspended, but something needs to be done. If we can, I would like to see if the chairman and councilors would like to perhaps schedule a date. I'd like to come back with far more paperwork. I can provide you everything I said. I have receipts. I can show it to you, and I'll show you that atrocities continues. So please take me seriously, because again, I'm not going away. I'm coming back in numbers, and I thank you for your time. Any questions? I'm sorry.
Thank you. We can't.
No?
We
Okay.
can't. Any questions right now?
Good morning, Commissioners. Salem Ayub, 3079 Garnett Court. Actually had a Metro incident last night on our cul-de-sac, because now I got 2 illegal short-term rentals trying to pull some shifties because obviously of recent events. Now we're talking about previous agenda. I mean, you know, you get scrambled if I come here too early because there's so many items that are on the agenda that are connected to this issue. Fees, like that last project that Commissioner Jones from Curdy, we're going to put it off for 2 weeks, but all these things can be solved if we're collecting proper fees, you know, especially from the unlicensed properties. It's the fees and the penalties are astronomical, and unless I'm wrong, we just got our butts kicked last week, didn't we? But now that, you know, I mean, this is war. I'm a Nevadan, all for our country, whatever you want to call it, man. This Airbnb thing's we got to, and I know that something's supposed to be going down August 31st or September 1st, but I mean, this is how blatant it is. Tayshaun Todd was found drowned at 2670 Palma Vista 2 months ago. And they're already advertising illegally again on Airbnb. That should be an automatic 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, regardless what any judge orders. And if it gets so bad where the fees are so high, just refer it to the DA's office for criminal prosecution. Because you can tag on all the fraud and the theft from the public treasury. Every host and every licensee is supposed to pay fees. They're killing it. That's why they're not stopping. They're making so much money. And let's throw this one in. Are we on a $900 million shortfall for a new stadium? And the guy comes down from Oakland and says he's going to help out Southern Nevada? Oh my gosh, this is getting crazy. Sorry. I understand there's a lot of emotion in the room today, but it's fine. And then, so you got 3068 Garnett Court, right outside my front window. 4 men from out of the country last night. I called Metro, and I didn't open Pandora's box. The officer assigned to that case called the Metropolitan Police Department 3 weeks ago. 2507-0000 091718. It was the story that was on Fox 5. There was 8 days of groceries left on the front door. What does that tell the vagrants in the neighborhood? What does that tell the potential squatters? When the officer showed up, he made contact with the people that were illegally staying at 3080, the Bane in the neighborhood, and he didn't even contact Officer Jones, who has that one. So Officer Ye didn't even, they got 7 short-term rental code officers on these teams. They're not even communicating on adjacent properties. So I had to enter those into the record, and the one from last night is 2508 0000, and the last 5, sorry, real quick, are 71980. This has got to stop. Thank you.
It is. All right, any further comments? Seeing none, we'll close the hearing for today, adjourn until tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock.